Alright guys, welcome to another episode of watching small creators make content. Now this episode we got Field Trip, the mysterious label controlled by ZACK BIA. Now ZACK BIA, I don't even know this guy, so let's get to know him. Let's get to know him. Hey.
ZACK BIA is not a rapper, and
Let's see.
prior to one lucky night at the club, he was just some random college kid with zero music industry experience. But yet, somehow, today, ZACK BIA stands at the center of hip-hop's most mysterious new record label, Field Trip Recordings.
D'Amelio
From
and
breakout
Yeet.
star Yeet and his producer, BIA, to now one of
Oh
the
yeah,
hottest names
BIA.
on the internet.
Hey, shout out to BIA, bro. BIA is fire, bro.
Black Boy Max
He's
and
fucking
ZACK BIA and
hilarious
Field Trip
too.
are quietly taking
But he's
over.
mostly fire.
However,
Like,
two big questions still
he makes some
remain.
crazy
What
beats.
does ZACK BIA actually do? And if he really has no experience, then why are all these artists signing to him?
So it's funny because like the people that I want the respect from, which is like artists in the creator community, those are the people who give me the most flowers and the most respect. And then it's the people that are kind of like removed from it, seeing it, are like, why this guy? Oh, it must be his dad. It must be this. It must be that. And they come out with excuses why.
ZACK BIA's entire career is honestly insane, at least until you learn the full truth. But despite how crazy his come up is, as he says, these
Okay,
actual
DJ.
artists in the scene.
alright, so he seems like a DJ in the scene, and I bet he's been around this for a
such as
long
Yeet
time.
and
So,
Drake give ZACK their full respect.
like, yeah, like,
However, the internet still
is that a
remains suspicious.
fucking
Yeah, there's no family
Oh,
connection.
shit.
Never been.
Young Lean?
My dad is like this crazy rich guy or something. I haven't spoken to my dad truthfully in like 10, 15 years. I'm not even sure exactly where he is, to be honest.
Following a divorce
Damn.
between his parents, ZACK would move out to Los Angeles as a kid and live
The
with
hell?
his mother. But prior to linking up with almost every A-list celebrity in Hollywood, ZACK BIA's
Wow.
passion for sharing music originally started at a young age. When I was like 8 or
Tizo
9 years old,
touchdown?
my first hustle was
Yo,
filling people's iPods
what?
with music, and they paid me for it, he recalls. I've always been able to search and discover new stuff from all
Wow,
genres.
yeah,
As a part-time
this is
DJ
crazy.
himself, who has also released his own dance project that we're about to see, it's no secret ZACK BIA loves music. However, this doesn't answer the question what
Damn.
ZACK BIA does, or how he got in this position either. Born on June 9th, 1996, this date would actually prove crucial to ZACK's rise to fame, which
Wow.
truly happened by accident. Following his graduation from Beverly Hills High School in 2014, ZACK was set to attend USC
14.
for college.
14,
However,
11
one
years
night,
ago,
right
guys. By the way, 11 years ago. 2014 is 11 years ago. Ain't that fucking wild? That's Flappy Bird time. Dude, that's like... Nah, I'm gonna throw up, dude. I'm gonna actually throw up. Like, I'm not gonna think about that.
before his freshman year kicked off, ZACK's life changed forever.
By the way, to this day,
I was 9. Yeah.
rise to with my success, whatever success I have.
This was around Fetty Wap
This
time,
is
because I was
the
9.
Fetty Wap.
This is,
Trap
and
music
Fetty
that
Wap
he's
was
never been.
all
He
over the
dropped
place.
My Way remix with Drake.
Great song.
So this is like Pete Fetty, and he's performing at her
Yep.
the night of my birthday. We're like,
Bro,
"Yo,
Fetty Wap in your school, that's a different level of motion. Had that shit blasting everywhere in fucking 5th grade. I don't even fucking... Dude, I can't even... Oh my gosh, that shit was like a movie. Fetty
He's
Wap
like,
movie.
being pretty nice actually. He's like, what's going on?
Fetty
I'm like,
Wap was the main
My friend's
character.
like, it's his birthday.
I'm not
I'm
even
like,
gonna
yeah, it's
lie.
my birthday, whatever. He's like, oh word, it was my birthday.
Shout out to
last night."
Fetty Wap.
After their first brief interaction at this LA,
Even though he's on
nightclub,
some shit,
Fetty
I don't
Wap
even
would
know
not
what the
only
fuck
go
he's
to
on,
shout
but...
ZACK out for his birthday during his performance on stage, but right before the venue closed,
Damn.
then this happened.
Club's about to close. There's like 5 minutes left, and his security waves me over to his table. So I'm like, is it talking to me? Whatever. I go over to his table, puts some Remy Martin in his
Damn.
hand, puts his arm around me. He's like, so what's good? How was your birthday? And he starts making conversation with me. And all my friends are in like, you know,
Wow.
like, looking at me like, you're going crazy. Like,
This lucky break, though, was about to get even better.
That's
for ZACK.
amazing.
After getting approached by people in the club, thinking he was now
Look,
part of
any
Fetty
story
Wap's
like this
entourage,
that's, like,
led
very
to ZACK connecting with
influential,
the
like,
promoter, who then offered him
very,
a job at the club. And thanks to
like,
his college buddies,
not
who always
influential,
helped
but
him
very
out, ZACK
motivational.
parties and promotional nights were a
To just
massive
keep
hit.
doing what you gotta
Moving
do
on
is...
to then meet this guy, John Terrazin, owner of these
Yo,
clubs. he
it's
was
great.
attending, and
This is
after
a
seeing
great
his
story
impressive
from
work, John would then promote ZACK
John.
BIA into
I
working
mean,
more
Zach.
private events at his club.
Sorry, guys.
Including exclusive parties hosted by Drake
Fucking
at Delilah. and again,
Yeah.
utilizing his networking ability.
That's
or
actually
as he puts
insane.
it, being very
Doing this
careful not to
all-
lean on these talented stars and ask them for favors. And
Wow.
rather just be a normal dude, Drake and ZACK BIA would quickly form a very close friendship. And from there, the rest was history.
That's crazy.
But besides this bar, though, in Drake's No Stylist verse with French Montana, name dropping ZACK specifically, back in 2019, Drake would also give ZACK BIA a cameo.
Dude, once you basically made it to the top. Once Drake's like, once Drake put you in a lyric, that's
in his Money in the
basically
Grave
you
music
made it
video
to the
with
top.
Rick Ross.
They're not making the right food, are they?
That's what the average
doesn't-
person
It
would
doesn't
be
smell right. Is that the
thinking
fish?
of.
Go, grease trap. 1 second. That's the fish?
Google searches spiked for who is ZACK BIA, Hollywood's most mysterious face. However, as word began to spread of his one-of-a-kind come-up in the party
Wow.
scene, at this point, ZACK BIA was simply seen as some rich LA kid who got super lucky, and this perception stuck. Well, that was until 2020 rolled around,
Wow.
and ushered in his biggest move to date. So, what happened? If you're wondering why easily the hottest new rapper of the past 5 years would choose to sign to a club promoter like ZACK BIA, as we're about to see, it's actually quite simple. Having literally outstreamed every Best New Artist nominee at the Grammys
Damn.
combined, despite never being nominated, today there's no denying Yeat is a star. But if you look closely, every release that Yeat has put out
Yeah,
since
Yeat had a
Upcoming has
pandemic,
included
too.
this little label down here in the credits, Field Trip Recordings.
Field
With
Trip.
the help of ZACK
Oh,
BIA's
wow.
right-hand man and private music executive James Canton, although first registering the
So
company
they
in
made the bell?
2017, in 2020, James
Or they
ZACK,
helped
and
out
their
with the
small
bell?
team would officially launch a new record
That's
label
actually
named
crazy.
Field Trip Records, as it just felt like the next logical step for ZACK's career, with a name inspired by their friend's teardown house, which they called Field Trip Estates, and their tagline, fueled by passion and the desire to reimagine what
Damn.
it means to be a music company. As for their first artist, though, a young singer named Mallory Merck and teenage rapper SSG Kobe, who ZACK was able to
Oh,
sign
wow.
thanks to a budget put up by his close friend.
SSG
And kinda like one
Kobe.
of my OGs sat me and some friends down
Damn.
and was like, you should start your own label. Your
Yo,
own-
who remembers SSG Kobe, bro?
Video. I was always like, you should be
2022,
part
bro,
of
was
other artists and
crazy.
Kinda like being that bridge
Oh,
person behind the
shit.
scenes. And he was like, yo, you gotta start your own label. I'll give you the money for it. And he bankrolled me the initial money. And I signed Mallory and Kobe. I just thought he was like a really good rapper.
At the time, SSG Kobe
was.
a really good rapper.
He was.
Unfortunately, some SA allegations around him would surface
Until that
later
shit
this year,
happened. But
basically
he was a
putting an
good
end to his
rapper.
rap career. But after
Like
inking-
bro, these rappers, bro, they love to ruin their careers for no fucking reason. Homicide Gang, bro, I could go on. Tokyo's Revenge, we could talk about this forever, but like this shit needs to stop. Y'all are not y'all are not Robert
Deal
Chill
in
out.
2020 to
Robert
become
Kelly,
the first
boy.
rapper to ever sign to Field Trip, ZACK BIA could not stop thinking about, quote, an emerging new rap scene which he called
Y'all trying to be the new
Yet, besides Kobe, though, who is one of the most popular upcoming names in that new wave,
I'm
Field Trip
tripping,
didn't
I'm
stop
tripping.
there, going on to then sign Heaven, Slum Success, and Only Bino to
Yikes.
similar partnership deals. However, just 1 year later in 2021, arrived
Shit
Field
be
Trip's
sad.
breakout signee.
I was one of the earliest believers in it. The reason I was a believer was like I thought the music was so amazing and like so different. And I called him into the office, and he pulled up, and he had the Montclair puffer on, Louis sideband,
Damn.
Louis Vuitton kind of scarf around
He
his
was wearing a
head.
turvy.
He told me like this. He had 5,000
the
followers on Instagram. You don't have to tell him anything. He's a complete genius. Like we don't have to touch any of that stuff. I'm more like I help organize everything on the back end, musically, creatively, like.
Although, we'll learn in a sec that some fans have started turning on him for his recent management decisions. After discovering
Okay.
Yeat's music prior to blowing up, ZACK BIA instantly wanted to sign him. But there was just one problem. Yeat had already been offered a one-album distribution deal with Interscope for his debut album. Yeat decided to go with Interscope for the release
Yep.
of Up To Me. However, while accepting this deal, he made a promise to ZACK BIA that he would sign with his label Field Trip as soon as it was over. But did he stick to it? Well, in the meantime, ZACK got right to work. From playing Yeat's music during
Damn.
his DJ sets for everyone he knew, including Lil Yachty, Cole Bennett, and even The Weeknd, as ZACK hosted The Weeknd's Dawn FM release party. But yet, besides these very influential introductions, what stirred up the most mainstream hype for Yeat was this famous photo with Drake, which, as we now know, it was actually ZACK BIA who connected and introduced the two at this party in Houston.
Oh,
However,
wow.
despite admitting that all this legwork, quote, ran up Yeat's price by the time his Interscope deal expired, with new offers flying in from other labels,
Shit.
Yeat stuck to his promise. officially signing his new contract with Field Trip Records and ZACK BIA in 2021, as well as in partnership with Geffen Records, which, by the way, is something interesting I noticed about Field Trip that you will too. At the time, though, signing to Field Trip caught a lot of fans off guard, and was viewed by many as a big
Why is Banks
but,
there?
While yes, it is true that
Is that
Zack's
what's his
reputation
name?
online was again just
Designer?
some lucky LA kid who probably came from a rich family.
He's also pictured a lot with Drake. He's really, honestly, you could name just about anyone in Hollywood, and ZACK BIA pops up in the background. Like, he is just friends with all of these celebrities. He's dating all of these beautiful women, and it's gotten to a point where everybody is going, who the hell is this kid? What does he do? Why is he there? And how does he get with
I
all
don't
of these
even know
women?
him.
Well, Zack left all of these internet rumors alone, which have only intensified a million times more due to all these past girls he's been seen with, like Olivia Rodrigo, who many
Y'all
think
are
is
some
her hit song
goony-ass
Vampire is written
motherfuckers,
about. But regardless, aside from his impressive list of ex-girlfriends,
let him do
instead, the
his
true
thing.
reason why all of these buzzing artists such as Yeet and now Blackboy Max are choosing to sign with Field Trip is simple.
Hey.
What ZACK BIA brings to the table is
Five
arguably
star,
even more
five star.
valuable.
Here's our secret sauce. Like I always tell people, I'm like, if we do like a Field Trip deal, you're gonna get privileges and looks and access to things that other people don't have. And that's kind of like our whole thing is like we can create those moments.
Despite his lack of music industry knowledge and experience,
This is
as we
fire.
just learned, ZACK BIA is a staple.
This guy
in
definitely
LA
knows what
parties.
he's doing.
What does this mean? Access to
And
the aux
he does
cord
it well.
at A-list parties with the world's most influential celebrities. And just ask yourself, what new artist wouldn't want their music played at these
Damn.
exclusive events?
You know how people talk about seeding a list for clothes? It's like we're also seeding out the music.
Yeah.
So like we'd be like the first people to play a song or play an artist before they blew up, and it's like we're in this room with 100 people. You know, 95 of them are some of the 95 most influential people in the world.
Yeah.
We have literally seen on countless occasions how just one cosign or repost from a massive celebrity like Kylie Jenner, for example,
Yeah.
can instantly ignite a new artist's career.
I read something the other day that on myself, because I saw it got up to 10 million pretty quick, that Kylie Jenner did like a video of her singing the lyrics.
Yeah.
And the plays went up by 300% after that.
I couldn't believe it. It was crazy being in the mall and being like, damn, like I'm about to blow up. None of these people even know who I am.
But it starts with getting them to hear
Wow.
the music in the first place. People don't realize that
That's the
going to
Kylie
a
Jenner
party
effect.
where someone is DJing, you
That's
can
the
break
that's the
songs,
Kardashian
turns
effect
out
too.
a
Like they could
businessman, a
they
skater,
touch
an
anything, it
actor,
turns
an
into
up-and-coming
fucking
musician, and a big
diamonds.
musician are all in the same room
It's
connected through
unbelievable.
music.
Like they
As I
they
mentioned
got the
earlier,
Midas
Zack BIA
touch.
himself
They
is a part-time
Black
DJ,
Boy Max.
with his old virtual sets during the pandemic growing an audience, thanks to guest stars like Kendall Jenner, Virgil Abloh,
I
and
miss
his
Black
good
Boy
friend
Max, I'm
Drake
not gonna
making
lie.
appearances, along with even letting Zack premiere his new song 2C Slide one night on stream.
It's about to be the hottest song in the world. Song of the summer.
But aside from those Instagram streams, and aside from helping host release parties for his other artist friends, such as Jack Harlow, Brent Faiyaz, and Baby Keem, little did he know that 8 years after this picture here was taken, showing the night when Zack says he snuck into a nightclub at 18 years old as a Post Malone fan, 8 years later in 2022, we then saw ZACK BIA officially get announced as an opener for 31 dates on
Wow.
Post Malone's tour. Forever indebted to Post and his team for taking me on my first tour, Zack writes. A life-changing experience. This was a huge step for Zack, but only
That's
less than
amazing.
a year later, another insane invite came his way as a DJ.
So much of the last 5 years has been about us going to experience these things out in the world in these parties. He's like, we got to bring that to tour. He's like, so if you can come, like, you got to come open up on tour. People got to come experience how we are in real life. Like that's what the show is, and that's just how Drake is. And so I just going in there and play whatever music I think is fresh and have a fun time with the crowd. But really, like my job is so easy. It's the best crowd. They're waiting for the best show. They're already amped up. I just got to play the hits
Yeah.
and have fun with them.
Can everyone take their lights out and look around what it's like to be in the room during a Drake concert with 20,000 of your best friends?
All of this was a dream come true for ZACK BIA, who, remember, basically got his start due to Fetty Wap being nice. Then going on to actually release his own dance project in 2023, of course under Field Trip Records, titled Learn to Fly. Although
Wow.
he said these 8 tracks were fun to make, and I'm sure he got a nice bag from Drake's sold-out shows, Zack's main focus remained on his label. I'm just trying to build the coolest record company I can. It's all I care about right now. And what better way to start than by signing one of the coolest new rappers of the past decade? Now, depending on who you ask though, some fans will try to argue that ZACK BIA has ruined Yeat's career as of recent. However, one thing is for sure, Yeat would have
Nah.
never been this big without ZACK BIA. Introducing Yeet to Drake, soon leading to his highest charting song ever,
Right.
was just the beginning of Field Trip's assistance. Because immediately after signing in 2021, Yeet was spotted joining ZACK at multiple mainstream events such as Paris Fashion Week, or here pictured next to Lyrical Lemonade founder Cole Bennett,
Oh,
who,
shit.
as one of ZACK BIA's best friends, would not only get put onto Yeet calling him the breakout artist of the year, but then Cole and Yeet have since formed their own close relationship, shooting multiple music videos together, including Yeet's first ever single under Field Trip, Still Counting.
What's up, man? I'm doing good. Cole and Yeet Creatives doing some new shit. Double video, 2-in-1. Cole never did that before, so I think it's just cool that, you know, with Yeet and Cole coming together, they're coming with a whole new energy.
Zach's over there talking. He looks nice. Look at this guy. Nice ass.
ZACK BIA has been instrumental in building Yeet as an artist, but if you still need more proof of his influence, look no further than one of the most viral internet trends of 2022. Everything started when again ZACK's good friend Cole Bennett was approached by the animation company behind the Minions franchise with the opportunity to make a trailer for their new movie Rise of Gru. But at first though, Cole says they were planning to use a safe, brand-friendly artist that would align with the PG-rated film, but apparently had a change of heart at the last minute. Cole called me and was like, "I'm doing this Minions trailer. What do you think about Yeet doing it?" And I told him I thought it was genius, says Field Trip Records co-founder ZACK BIA, who signed Yeet and helps oversee his career. The idea of Yeet and the Minions movie collaborating is just so left field, but at the same time, it inexplicably makes sense. Yeet would record his Rich Minion song that next morning in his hotel room. However, after ZACK signed off on it, I don't think anybody could predict what happened next.
Call themselves the Gentle Minions, and they're part of a TikTok
Hell
trend.
yeah.
Watch the 6th installment of the franchise after their school formal. So they just kept the suits on and started a viral trend in the process. This video has been viewed more than 37 million times, and there have been lots of other videos.
Dude, all
like
these
it
people
with
are like
fans around the world
24,
suiting
25,
up to
20,
go watch the
23
movie
now.
ever
It's just
since.
Having helped orchestrate this insanely viral Gentle
wild
Minions
what
trend in
people did
2022,
back then.
which of course all used Yeet's new Minions song. As a result of all this attention, ZACK BIA and his team
Yeah,
have been flooded with
let's all get
opportunities left and
$300
right.
suits
However,
and go to
although I'm
watch
sure
the
it's
Minion
probably
movie.
tempting for them to just take all
Like,
these easy
what the
bags,
fuck?
instead,
What even
ZACK
comes
and
up with
Yeet
your head
did
with
the
that
exact
shit?
opposite. We've turned down a
Like,
lot of things,
TikTok,
basically
Vine shit,
everything,
that shit is
actually.
different.
BIA told Complex,
Coming up
we've
with
always
challenges,
opted
y'all
to
be-
do things our
I'll
own
be
way,
tripping. Even
passing on
YouTube
interview
be tripping.
opportunities and producing our own
What the
magazines,
fuck?
or passing on festivals and opting for our own smaller tour run to create the experience that we wanted. Besides rarely doing interviews
Minions
and
and
turning down
Yeet,
platforms
though,
like
just
No Jumper,
blew
when
up,
Yeet first started blowing up, as you could guess, every big
Blew
hip-hop
up.
festival was also wanting to book him. But despite offers to play for sold-out crowds such as Rolling Loud, ZACK BIA and Yeet declined, which was actually extremely smart. If you've been following Yeet's career for a while, you probably remember that, like every brand new artist on stage for the first time, Yeet was not a good performer at all. With multiple viral clips pointing this out, you could obviously tell that Yeet was nervous and shy
No,
in front of an
he's
audience.
not that good.
Thus, rather than accepting these huge festivals, Yeet announced his first ever tour, opting for instead much smaller venues. This provided the perfect chance for Yeet to improve and work on his stage presence with less pressure in front of smaller crowds. And
Yeah.
this risky decision paid off, as not only is Yeet now rocking out major festivals across the world like Rolling Loud and Coachella, but he is clearly way more confident on stage. Yeet's career has only continued to climb under the management of ZACK BIA and Field Trip. Like, this crowd is insane. However, after seeing their major success together, next came the signing of Field Trip's first ever producer. Following in the footsteps of Yeet, in April of 2024, it was announced that his go-to producer, Benny X, had also penned a new deal with Field Trip Recordings, in partnership with Capitol. As one of the hottest names out on the producer side of things, Benny X is an exceptional musician and a true artist with a specific vision, but above all else, an incredible human, said ZACK BIA. Yeet brought him into our
he's pretty
lives
good.
and he turned into family. But yet, they still weren't finished. Last month in May brought ZACK BIA and Field Trip's latest edition.
Oh,
News broke that
yeah.
Field Trip had inked a new deal with Twitch streaming star Plackboy Max. Once again, fans were confused. But Zach's plan is simple. Max is a true pioneer and is changing the current
Yep.
landscape of entertainment.
He really
says.
is.
We are here to help scale and operate his vision as he continues
Yes.
to merge all of these creative
Yes.
fields. The goal is to build directly out of his core 5-star community, first and foremost.
Yes.
Always leading with Max's taste and collaborations that are true to him. After exploding
Damn.
into streaming fame thanks to series such as his In the Booth and Song Wars episodes, in May of 2025 arrived
Yep.
Plackboy Max's debut mixtape featuring him rapping, which, as we can see right here, was indeed released in partnership with Field Trip Recordings and his new friend ZACK BIA.
Only the finest.
Damn.
Bro, what?
Damn. Wow.
Dance one time.
Bro, I appreciate y'all so much, bro. That shit.
You deserve
Wow.
As it stands, only time will tell exactly what ZACK has in store for Max's career. However, the truth of the matter is, he will not be working alone. In addition to Field Trip Recordings, as we can see, Blackboy Max's new deal is also in partnership with Capitol. And as it turns out, every single artist that has ever signed to Field Trip from the very start has been in joint ventures with other major labels.
How it works is Field Trip is more like the promotion and planning side, and then Republic Records is what deals with like the money or whatever.
Right.
In my opinion, this is honestly very smart, and it appears ZACK BIA agrees too. This way, artists get the best of both worlds, he says. They get the advantage of the machine and their industry knowledge, but they don't get lost in it. They're not dealing with people who only work for a label and don't know them personally. We can do stuff on the ground that they can't do, and they can do things on a massive corporate level that we can't do either.
It's more just like, like you and me, we're living and breathing it, right? We're not some, like,
that's
you know,
crazy.
We're not some like exec in an office that's like, what are kids doing? Like, we're living and breathing it. So I'm more just like, we can help do the things that an artist needs.
Damn, chat. That's crazy, chat. Chat. Hold on. I might subscribe to this guy. He looks like he drops bangers. I'm gonna like that though.
Despite being
same guy. That
ZACK
shit
BIA
was
is not a
fucking
rapper.
tough. Yo. 11, 11. 11, 11. Yo, you have some good content. What the heck? The fuck? Damn. That shit was tough. That shit was tough. Hey, shout out to 1111 for making that. That shit was tough. That shit was tough.